Screen juice.
Hello again, screen lovers, and welcome back to Screen Juice. I'm Dave, and today I'm going to be talking about the new and shiny Netflix movie, Extraction. Once again, I'll be avoiding spoilers, so you're safe to keep watching if you haven't seen it yet. So, Extraction is an action thriller starring Chris Hemsworth, Randeep Hooda, Golshifteh Farahani, and has a small role from David Harbour. Honestly though, it's clear from the marketing of this film that they really wanted you to know that it stars Chris Hemsworth and was written and directed by the Russo brothers, who also directed Avengers Endgame. And, to be fair, you can see why you would want your new film to be associated with the highest grossing movie of all time. But before anyone is fooled into thinking that these two films should also share an audience, I'm here to tell you that they really shouldn't. Firstly, this isn't a story about brightly coloured superheroes who zip around making quick jokes and defeating a cocky comic book villain. This is a story about a gruff, Black Ops mercenary who is hired to rescue the son of India's biggest drug lord, following his being kidnapped by Bangladesh's biggest drug lord. The screenplay was written by Joe Russo, the younger of the two brothers, and it's very light on content and character. While the Russos have some impressive credits tied to their collaboration as directors, you could count their writing credits on your hands and you might not have heard of any of them. Thankfully, the dialogue doesn't stray into cheese territory, but it's clear that these scraps of story are purely in place as the soil in which to plant the action sequences. Which brings me to my second point. Just because the poster mentions Avengers Endgame, don't for a moment think that this movie is safe for a younger audience. The action in this movie is raw and violent. The film was directed by Sam Hargraves, and his record of stunt work is impressive, and that's putting it mildly. This is his feature-length directorial debut, and it's stunning. You can see very clearly where his work as a fight choreographer and stunt coordinator has paid off. The fight sequences are truly phenomenal. So often these days we're treated to action sequences that lack weight and impact and are so filled with jump cuts that you've got no idea what's really going on. And yes, I'm going to refer to the famous Liam Neeson over the fence from Taken 3. Now, let's compare that to Jackie Chan jumping over a fence. The impact is greater when you can see what's going on and are aware of the environment the action takes place in. What Sam Hargraves does do well here is to allow the viewer to get a real sense of the space the characters are in and tells the story of the action one beat at a time. The hand-to-hand fights in this movie aren't about watching the handsome actors stare each other out. Each fight is a game of chess, where we see each move played out in rapid succession. Each attack is met with a response, and the camera follows it every time. It works so well, and it really does get your blood pumping. Speaking of which, there is a fair bit of visceral violence in this film. Knives, bullets, and cars are the weapons of choice, and the results are often brutal, often resulting in some real teeth-dryer moments. Just to add some further love for the director here, I have to point out some amazing things that I've learned. 1. He was running around while the action was taking place, keeping the actors in frame, and when they jump off a roof, he's wired up and just jumps off along with them, filming the action all the way. And 2. I really think that he managed to capture the bustling streets of Bangladesh. Throughout the movie, the characters are moving in and out of these densely crowded areas, and the streets always feel genuine and almost claustrophobic because of the level of activity. And I just really like that. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at some of the performances. Chris Hemsworth is a handsome, charming guy, right? I mean, he's literally played a god for years, and we're all just kind of like, yeah, sure, I can accept that. So what happens when you smear him in dirt and blood and then take away all the opportunities for one-liners? Well, it seems it'll take more to dampen his godly looks, but a lot of the charm that we've come to love is a little drowned out by the gunfire. It's not totally gone, but now exists in well-timed grunts and exasperated insults. He is given the chance to shine during an emotional sequence partway through the movie, just in case you forgot that he is actually a decent actor. There are a handful of other decent performances in the movie, but I really enjoyed Randeep Hooda as Sarju, an arguably better fleshed out and more interesting character than the protagonist. He works for the kidnapped boy's father and spends much of the movie chasing down Tyler, which is Hemsworth's character. Now, the character of Saju isn't exactly the main antagonist, but he's definitely the other side of Tyler's coin. They're both advanced, seemingly indestructible characters to the point where Saju is almost the T-1000 to Tyler's T-800. So, should you watch the movie? If you're a fan of action, amazing fights and stunts, and also like the idea of John Wick-style shootouts with a more militarised look, then the answer is a resounding yes. It's a bloody and wild ride. But if you're looking for twists, turns and character development, then this may not be the one for you. And before I go, one last word about the ending, and no, this isn't a spoiler, I promise. There is an ambiguous moment at the end. Please don't overthink it. The filmmakers didn't, and apparently it was just a way to please more people during screen tests. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Extraction, and I've been Dave for Screen Juice. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and maybe tell your friends. I'd love to see your feedback, your ideas, and your thoughts on the movie in the comments below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.